Welcome to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We rebuilt stunningly after Camille, with lights that's fluorescence can only be seen from space. The Gulf Coast was officially back on the map. Numerous memorials and other tourist attractions now call this place home. And with extraordinary sunsets and an eloquent lighthouse always guiding your way home, who wouldn't want to live in this paradise? But the residents see it simply as home, where everyone knows their neighbor, and the second and third grader students' biggest worry is learning cursive and who can get the most AR points. This is us. We went to many different elementary schools, 3 states actually, and we combined to share not only the stories individually, but us, the true us, the SHOREline chapter of GHS. We weren't all affected by Katrina, but most of us were. Total property damage is estimated around $81 billion, but the 1,833 lives were priceless. Its powerful storm surge flattened buildings with a single wave, and 175-mile-an-hour winds launched whatever they could get seamlessly into the air. They looked like competing baseball stars, just seeing which could throw the furthest. Scientists and meteorologists around the world were appalled at what they watched havoc unfolding on the Gulf Coast. But even as the brave souls that stayed watched their precious belongings and tied-in memories taken with the storm surge, others were their number one priority, with rescue missions happening all over the coast. Even in New Orleans, where there are stories of thousands being saved. These are just a few. And even though the survivors were shaken up, they were eager to help the helpers save more lives. Things only thought to be in movies, people's worst nightmares, were now real life. Hundreds of helpless people trying to flee the ever-pressing water only hoped to make it out alive and see their loved ones once again. Destruction was everywhere, in every direction. Even the Camille survivors, one of the previous hurricanes that destroyed the coast, were stunned as they observed what used to be lively businesses and homes. Now it just looked like a neighborhood yard sale. Debris flew even as the winds continued after the eye and the worst parts of the storm hit. But destruction isn't something easily accepted by most on the coast. Although it might not seem like much, the progress is amazing. Even though here and there you can see empty lots, the strength of family and community have never been stronger. This is part of us. We, even as second and third graders, assisted in the rebuild and made the coast into the place we proudly call home. A beautiful house to harbor the boats, restaurants to fill our tummies, and roofs above our heads. We are all thankful. Thankful not only for the positive things in our lives, but also the negatives, because ultimately, they're what brought us together and strengthened our bonds as us, the true us.
Do you ever notice clicking happening in the classroom setting?
Yes, absolutely. I think students, kind of see themselves around people that they are most like, or presume that they're most like.
Okay. Do you think race and social status, like the wealth of their parents, has a lot to do with?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the things that is plays into that. Whether it's conscious or unconscious. I think that starts early on and definitely continues through high school. I think it makes it harder to understand other people's situation, points of view, and it sort of reinforces your own ideas if you find yourself only around people who have really similar backgrounds and similar ideas.
In October, a fellow admiral at Gulfport High School, Joshua Cuellar, was shot and killed. When we shoreliners came to class that Monday, we realized that there was no announcements about his death. It was as if nothing had even happened. Mecca knew him and was upset, coming into class with teary eyes. It sparked us in a conversation, and we realized that something needed to be done. So, we did something.
Lift the stone, it can't be left alone. If I hide underneath, I give in. Turn the page, give all my rage and my pride and believe I can win.
How do you feel about a classroom of kids, students, who half of them didn't even know Joshua Cuellar planning it, as to either friends or even administrators planning something like that?
Well, being a part of the staff who did plan the memorial, I felt like it was a good thing, but I would have expected our administrators to take some kind of part in the planning of it. They did give us like time out of class to go, but I would think they should have contributed.
What effects did you see after the balloon release, the difference between how people acted before and then after?
Well, kind of happy, you know what I'm saying, and to see that somebody cared about them and seeing that somebody was doing something positive after they helped the call.
There's a video of what we take when on the beach. Okay. You can put it on the video?
Yeah, well, this is the phone that we use to call all around the city of Gulfport to try to get balloons and text each other nonstop.
This is Miss Barcom, our school secretary. She helped us get in touch with every kid that we needed to track down while we were planning the memorial.
But yeah, I do have you down for those days. Okay? All right. You're welcome.
This is Miss Lauren. She helped print out over 500 tickets for the balloon release.
I'm happy to help.
Okay, I got it.
This is Miss Moore, our school's bookkeeper, and she helped us keep track of all the money that we raised from the memorial. This is the field that we released the balloons on! This section of the bleachers is where Josh's family and friends stood to give their speeches and a few words about him, as the students stood on the field and his family stood on the track to release their balloons. What effects did you see after the balloons?
At the balloons, I know I seen some people cry. His mom was like really happy that we had that memorial for him.
What do you think was the difference between the school as a whole before the release and after? Like, what do you think the changes were that went on?
I think as a student body, we came closer because like some people were separated before his death, and like some people like were comforting others and just letting each other know it's okay.
So, who are we? We are the ones to show that students from every different background can come together to redefine their reality and unite as one community in the face of tragedy.
All is good, all is great, and it's never too late. I will live to see another day. The rising sun is sure to come, and I can hide all I can run. And fingertips on dried out lips, reminding too that they are one and the same, but go by many names.